游戏中的算法文化 Alexander Galloway 第3章社会现实主义 Social Realism.
To start with social realism, reality is thriving today in many types of media, particularly in what we're going to be talking about, gaming. The conventional wisdom on realism in gaming is that because life today is so computer mediated, gamers actually benefit from hours of realistic gameplay. The time spent playing games trains the gamer to be closer to the machine, to be quick and responsive, to understand interfaces, and also to be familiar with simulated worlds. Just like the Gran Turismo film from a couple years ago, where champions of the racing game are then turned into the next F1 racers. And it is evident that today, flight simulators, Doom, and now America's Army are realistic training tools in military. Now, one of the central theoretical issues in video gaming is how and in what way one can make connections between the gaming world and the real world, both from the inside outward in the form of effective action and from the outside inward in the form of realistic modeling. In previous theories of visual culture, this is actually generally referred to as the problematic of representation. Representation is the creation of meaning about the world through images. So the question is, do images, language, or any representations do reality justice? But because games are not merely watched but played, they supplement this debate with the phenomenon of actions. So game theorists or game developers, sometimes they would have to consider the kinetic, affective, and material dimensions in debates about meaning and representation. Just as Johann Huizinga reminded us many years ago in his writings on his play, it is methectic rather than mimetic. Means that something involves active participation and communal group sharing rather than mere imitation or passive presentation. Now, on realisticness versus social realism. In this chapter, I would like to describe how traditional theories of realism can be applied to video games and then propose an expansion of the concept of realism to include new problems that games represent. And within the world of gaming, it is possible to divide games into two piles. Those that have as their central conceit the mimetic reconstruction of real life, just like games as Socom, or The Sims Hot Date, or Madden NFL. Or there's also those resigned to fantasy worlds of various kinds, like Final Fantasy, Grand Theft Auto, or Unreal Tournament. They transpire in fictional worlds with fictional characters and fictional narratives. Just like Bruce Shelley says, realism and historical information are resources or props we use to add interest, story, and character to the problems we are posing for the player. But the problem is, realistic narratives and realistic representation, they are two different things. Gaming itself is purely expressionistic medium with no grounding in realism. Now, realisticness itself is when the actions actually imitate real life. And realism is the style and characters and environments of the game that look like real life. And realisticness is important, to be sure, but the more realisticness takes hold in gaming, the more removed from gaming it actually becomes. Meaning reality in art is actually highly contradictive. If you want to imitate reality, you do have to add a couple fictional things just to raise its aestheticness or believableness.
那我接下来讲一下如何在游戏中找到现实主义。游戏是由机器像素构成，然后存在实验创意，也存在所谓的低动画。Donna Haraway 曾经说过，现在的有机工业社会已经转变到多态讯息系统社会。那随着非物质劳动的这件事情的日益增加、日益重要，